Hi class, and welcome to my demonstration. Today, I'm going to give you a small demonstration and a few helpful hints on how to remove tarnish from silver. This could be silver jewelry, this could also be silver cutlery, or anything that you may have that is pure silver. We're going to do this with three simple ingredients. Boiling water, which I have already prepared. Aluminum foil, you can use any kind, any store-bought aluminum foil will work. Pure baking soda. And then I just have some mixing cups for accurate measurements. So I've already taken the initiative to clean beforehand a beautiful piece of jewelry, which is actually about 40 years old. It's my husband's grandfather's retirement ring. I just want to put it a little closer to see how shiny and clean it is. Now this piece of jewelry had years of tarnish. And I mean dark and gritty and all the cracks. I wish I could give you a better visual of how beautiful and shiny it looks. But we're going to move on to this heavily tarnished Pandora bracelet. It has several charms on it. It's very tarnished, very dull. And I'm going to show you how to clean it. I get my mixing cups, and we're going to go over the measurements. So I need a 1/4 cup of baking soda and 2 cups of water. During the process, I'm also going to explain to you why this works. So we got about a 1/4 cup baking soda and 2 cups of water. Now I also have this clear dish, which we're going to use to put the bracelet in once we get it all together. I'm just going to take a piece of foil, and we just need enough foil to properly cover the bottom of the glass dish, which is what you'll be needing. Make sure that it's glass and that all it's contained in it before adding the jewelry is the foil. So we're just going to kind of make it into a little circle here so that it fits nicely on the bottom. We're just going to kind of mash it down. Which works really nicely. Okay, now that we have that, I'm going to go ahead and set this up here so we can put the rest of our ingredients in. We have our bracelet. You have to make sure that the bracelet is touching the aluminum foil in every part of the bracelet. So you just want to push it down and make sure that it's all touching. It has to be touching the aluminum foil. Okay, then we're going to add our baking soda. Now take note, when I add the boiling water, it is going to create a fizz and it may overflow. So you want to do this in a kitchen or something that's covered where you're not going to be spilling it on, your counter overflowing. So we're going to go ahead and pour that in. We're creating a great fizz. Now to the important part. Although this is a great tip on cleaning your jewelry, I want to talk about why this works, why it's so effective. The important part to this experiment is because it works so amazingly. I like to use chemistry to understand what exactly is going on. So when silver tarnishes, it becomes silver sulfide. The silver sulfide actually reacts with the aluminum and transfers to the aluminum sulfide, becomes aluminum sulfide. So in that process, it kind of pulls the tarnish off and the aluminum takes it in as aluminum sulfide. Now, you wouldn't be able to smell it, but standing here, you can actually smell it has a sulfur-like smell. It maybe like an egg boiling, and that is the actual reaction that's occurring. We also use boiling water because boiling water actually helps the reaction to react faster. The baking soda is definitely a key item in this cleansing because it's sodium bicarbonate, and it mixes in with the solution, and it kind of, I guess you would say, buffers it, and allows the reaction to take place. So you definitely cannot just use the aluminum foil and the water. You have to have the key ingredient, which is baking soda. So I'm just going to move this around a little bit. Right now it's working quite well. And for purposes of this speech, depending on how tarnished your piece is, which could be, it could be cutlery, it could be a beautiful piece of jewelry, a bracelet, a necklace. But for purposes of this speech, and as not to take up too much time, the more heavily tarnished the item is, the longer you want to keep it in the solution. Generally takes a couple of minutes, but sometimes a little bit longer depending on how much tarnish has built up on the item. So let me just take a peek. And it is looking pretty good, and it is smelling of sulfur. That was one pretty dirty piece of jewelry. So I think we can remove the piece of jewelry now. I also used a white cloth to put it on, which is what you're going to use to buff it. Wow, that came amazingly clean. I wish you could actually get a better visual that I can see, but it is amazing. So you just want to take your cloth and you just want to buff down. Just kind of polish it up. And the nice thing about this solution is we're using natural ingredients. I mean, we're using baking soda, boiling water, very natural. Let's see here. So if you have that piece of jewelry that you really, really want to preserve, that you never knew could actually be so beautiful, this is a great solution to try. You can try it with anything, like I said, even with the grooves that it has. I also brought out a little toothbrush because every now and then, if it just doesn't get quite as clean as I'd like it, I kind of just brush in. I would just take the toothbrush like so and just brush in the little cracks. Let it sit for a minute and then just buff it up. But actually this piece came out really nice. So no need to do that. I don't know if you can tell the shininess is from when I showed you the first time, but it is incredibly clean. So if you have a piece of silver that you want to preserve, I encourage you to try this. It's an amazing, amazing, helpful tip that will help us keep our silver preserved and looking beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me today.